The highlight for every episode of the challenge for me is the funny confessionals. I think a huge thing in this show is being able to narrate, but not only that, there needs to be a certain charm to it. Not just straight up good storytelling, I want some funny one-liners. I want to laugh at the confessionals. Hey guys, what's up? It's the Rookie Revolution, and today we will be looking at the top 10 contestants who give the funniest confessionals.
In all the challenge houses, we have the interview rooms, like where you see me right now sitting down.
Now, with this list, I want consistency. I don't want a challenger who will be really dull all season and maybe have one good line. I want it to be consistent. I also want to clarify, this isn't the person's funniest in one season, it's in general. All person's season will be mixed together in this. For example, it won't be Jemmy from Vendettas, it would be Jemmy just in general. I'm going to be giving a rundown of my list and also be putting a few of my favorite confessionals by that person with them. With that being said, let's get right into it.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take the money and run, Teach.
Let's start off with some honorable mentions. First, I want to highlight Evan and Kenny. I have nothing good to say about these two really, but they do give funny confessionals. But it seems to be more in the spirit of being mean and picking on others. Kenny and Evan are unique and come up with funny quips, but just due to them being really unlikable, I have them as an honorable mention.
Hi, my name's Kenny Maria, and I like horses and Abram, and everybody's mean, and I hate everyone in this house. I hate everyone.
Katie needs a smoke. Eric's just lounging out. He probably wants some pastrami or something.
The next honorable mention is Abram. Abram just lets loose in his confessionals, and they are pretty captivating to watch. What is funny about them is that they are pure craziness. He can say the craziest thing, and I would never be surprised. The reason he is only an honorable mention is because his confessionals are pretty one note. He just yells, and while it's entertaining, it isn't as clever as some others.
TJ blows the horn, and you go for it! Give me the stick! Die! Die, 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 die!
For my last honorable mention, I'm going with Coral Smith. And you might be asking yourself, how can I only put her as an honorable mention? And that's a good question because she is the original confessional gangster. And I really don't know why she didn't make my list. I think when comparing her to the other 10, there was just something about hers that didn't fit in the top 10. But I do have to say her confessionals are dry and hilarious, and she is amazing.
Julie challenged me to a duel. I wear a 32 double D bra. One boob alone could kick her ass.
For number 10, I have chosen the one and only Paula Walnuts. Paula is special in her confessionals because while she does provide good insight and funny commentary, she is able to do something that is very rare, that is making fun of herself. And that is just a great trait to have. Paula does not take her confessionals too seriously, and that allows her to let loose, and her funny lines are genuinely funny. Paula also comes off very likable in her confessionals. Her confessionals are so good that they even landed her a gig as a co-anchor on Spring Break Challenge, and it was well deserved and it fit in well.
Because you're a little scared, in my opinion.
She is correct. Yes, ma'am. Have you seen you?
By chance, I'm gonna bend you in half, dude.
I come down for pancakes, but CT came down for blood.
Okay, for number 9, and this might be a little too low, we have Wes. Wes is a good mix of being a storyteller and funny. And while he can be funny and is funny, I personally think he was funnier when he was younger as opposed to now. Don't get me wrong, Wes is still hilarious, but there was something charming about his younger self cockiness and him saying how much better he was than everyone else. He was so good at playing up to that type of character, it was insane. Wes is really good at confessionals, and when he is on this season, expect him to get a ton of them.
I'm a physical specimen carved by Zeus. And when people say, what are you good at? I'm like, that's what I'm good at, everything. As much as I want to sit around and brag about how much my body looks like a Greek god, which it does.
At number 8, we have Georgia. On War of the Worlds 2, Georgia completely led the season in terms of confessionals while she was there. And for good reason. She is hilarious and good at telling a story. It is very rare for a new addition to a show to completely trump everyone in terms of confessionals. Georgia's accent and the jokes she makes are just hilarious, and sometimes I don't even think they are intentional. Georgia does her job with the confessionals she does, and her bubbly personality fits in well. She just says the most absurd things sometimes.
I've never actually been inside anything that spins before. I once got in my tumble dryer to like wind my mum up, but it wasn't on, so I've got no experience.
I'm like the Incredible Hulk. I'm like, whoa, whoa.
For number 7, and I know he is just super unlikable, but hear me out, it's Zack. I mean, this guy's just funny at confessionals. And like I said, he has been awful recently. Not even recently, always, but his confessionals are funny and fresh. He's not afraid to speak his mind, and he does it in a way where he does it deadpan. Like, he doesn't even realize how mean or funny he is being. He also has very creative ways of doing his confessionals. He is also amazing at making fun of himself or being able to try to shed new light on information. He is not likable and he is rude, but he does have some of the funniest confessionals on the show.
Jordan and Sarah are walking encyclopedias. Jay and Jenna aren't even informational brochures. Sleeping Beauty. Correct. It's my favorite one. I'm very interested in Disney princesses. I know that Aurora was Sleeping Beauty. I didn't want to say Aurora. I didn't want to be too cocky. Thought Sleeping Beauty would suffice.
Number 6 is Ashley. Ashley completely knows who she is and she just lets loose. Her self-awareness gives her a talent in the confessionals. You can tell the confessionals for Ashley are fun for her and it is in her element. Her energy and laughs are infectious through the TV, and she genuinely makes you interested in her commentary while having hilarious quips.
I'm in hell. Hell, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my whole life. And yes, that sounds dramatic, but I've had a really easy life. This is your 9th final and you're crying over a math problem? What's going on? I'm so mad at her right now, honestly, I could spit.
Number 5 is Kyle. I think Kyle's 2 biggest strengths on the challenge are his heart and his confessionals. His confessionals are probably my personal favorite. He is another person who is very self-aware and he just owns who he is in the confessional room. Kyle's accent adds a lot too. His jokes are always hilarious and at least for me makes me want more of his confessionals. I just think Kyle's very charming, passionate, and funny during his confessionals.
I feel like pushing the cars we're going to be very good at because we've got me, Nelson, and Fessy. But then again, we're not going to be very good at the puzzle because we've got me, Nelson, and Fessy.
Your team that will work with West, Cara, Paulie.
I'll just tell Laurel anything I wanted to believe because why not? Why not pick off all them? And they probably were working with West.
Next, for number 4, we have Bananas. And I know. He rehearses his lines and he kind of stole the style of confessionals he does from Kenny. But you have to admit, he's gotten good at them. Even when he first started, he would get some of the most confessionals in a season. So when they show his confessionals so much, it's kind of hard not to get used to them and actually start enjoying his one-liners and snarky remarks a little bit. I do have to admit, no matter how many times he says essentially in one episode, essentially, he is now really able to paint the narrative of the show, and like I said before, he reuses a lot of jokes, but they can be funny. I mean, the challenge would feel really different without Johnny's 50 confessionals in one episode.
While Wes may look like a number 2, he's actually my number 1. Apparently, Brandon forgot his binky at home. It was in his sock drawer next to his balls.
Number 3 is Devin Simone, and she is literally the confessional queen. She is so funny, and she's really able to articulate well that I think she should be the permanent reunion host for the show. Devin really has a way of being very charming and hilarious and explaining everything to the viewers. She is a natural at the confessionals, and she is so real. And like I said before, I just really love her confessionals. Did I mention hilarious?
Zack's gotta be pretty embarrassed. I mean, you're 7'13" and you just got your ass beat by the same dude chasing your ex-girlfriend. You cannot be happy. Yes, no elimination, automatically to the final. Crap, I'm going to the final, I'm gonna die.
Number 2 is Jemmy, and the best thing about Jemmy is how she'll say one thing to someone's face and then go into the confessional room and just completely slander it. Jemmy has no problems calling everyone out, and even though she's not the strongest competitor, everyone loves her funny confessionals so much. Jemmy could really have her own show just dragging everyone. I really love the way she can say everything deadpan, and honestly, just Jemmy rocks.
Jenna is completely disgusted by the thought of having to eat peanut butter. Model problems. Have a lot of experience of bopping bitches in the head, so I'm okay with this. This is like a therapy session for me.
Devon is number 1 by far.
Point blank and the period.
Oh my gosh. She just brings new life into the confessionals. She is so energetic and full of life. It just always makes me happy to see a Devon confessional. I really think Devon is not only the best confessionalist ever, but she is also the funniest, which is the point of the video. No one has the same energy and can consistently be as funny as Devon. If you haven't noticed, I love Devon.
I'm pulling, I'm like
bitch, stop. So I stop, I take a moment, I summon the strength of the Black Panther, and then I go. I don't even like doing the Stairmaster at the gym. So to climb in these sand dunes, it's a problem. But I'm gonna do it because I'm a thug.
Thank you all for watching, and I just have to thank you all for the massive growth my channel has received since my last video. It means more than words can express, and next week is the Challenge Conspiracies Part 2, so stay tuned for that. Everybody please like, comment, and subscribe, and until next week's conspiracy video, take care.